Hello, and welcome back to the Quest for Completion. We're on episode 15, and to be honest, I don't really have anything planned for this episode, except for Omenak, because it's map of the week, and I've had it on my mind for a while, and apparently it's a pretty good survival armor farm. So, let's go into it. Now, as you probably saw just there, I actually have done Omenak already on Ruthless Hardcore. It wasn't on purpose, it's just I was following somebody's build, and then it just worked on the first attempt and I did not expect it to. Granted, I was doing it with like a ton of summoners and all that good business, but still, the build just worked. I was very surprised by it. I was not expecting it by any means. So I didn't really, I was like, it's a shitpost build, it won't work. No, it worked, and I wasn't recording, which is awful. But this map is interesting, let's say. Not particularly hard, because you get a lot of mana on the first wave. You can build, I'm pretty sure, literally everything on the first wave, which is really nice. It's a very nice change of pace. And on top of that, the boss is like, he's hard, but you can just cheese the hell out of him. Like, it's kind of funny just how much you can cheese this boss. And the way that we're going to be doing that is with a neat little thing called reflection beams. This boss fires like 1 trillion projectiles. That's his whole gimmick, his shtick. He flies around and he just fires projectiles everywhere. But here's the thing, right? Those projectiles, they only matter if they can get to your towers. And how are they going to get to your towers if there's 1 gajillion reflection beams here? Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm totally going overboard with the reflections. I just don't want like any chance, good lord, of the boss's shots going through. So that's why I'm doing the crazy reflections, but I'm pretty sure you could get away with like a lot less. And more importantly, if you actually have a DPS hero of any kind, well, mainly a ranged DPS, it has to be ranged, like really good range, not monk range, then you could just use that to kill the boss. But I don't want to make one of those yet. In fact, one of the weapons that we get from here is one that I've had in mind for doing Love Machine, and it's a ranged DPS weapon. So that'd be pretty cool, I think. But yeah, pretty much the build is going to be dumping down a Forest Golem right here, and then as insurance, we're going to dump down a Nature Pylon over here, and that's going to be it for the entirety of the Hermit, the Auras, and the, the Reflectors and Beams and whatnot. Next up is going to be our Warden, and also I'm going to bring out my Monk, because we just don't have enough mana to build everything. We just have enough mana to build the majority of everything, if that makes sense. Here we're going to place down 1 Shroom Pit, and then hold on. According to this guy, we want to place 2 Shroom Pits, but I'm not going to do that. We want 1 Cloud Tower facing straight backwards, 1 Cloud Tower facing kind of in this diagonal direction to the bottom left, 1 Cloud Tower facing top left, something like that, I think, and then 1 Cloud Tower facing top right, and that's it. And the rest of it is just going to be Wisp Ends until we can't do any more Wisp Ends. And for the first wave, because we don't really have a choice, I am in fact going to run around on this guy and get ourselves some mana and place down the rest of the Wisp Ends. And any remaining DU that I have left over probably means that I fucked up somewhere somehow, so that's, not too good. But other than that, just place down more Reflectors, which will mean more security and therefore more likelihood of things going well. I will mention, if you can have your towers survive the hits for whatever reason, then one decent idea is probably to place down that 1 Guardian Tower that like heals nearby towers when it gets hit. Because, I mean, it gets hit along with your towers, but then your towers get healed, and it has a lot of HP, so it won't go down, all that good business. Now, one small caveat of this fucked up build is the fact that, well, as you might imagine, with 1 trillion reflectors, because you can actually upgrade reflectors, you're going to enter a bit of a pickle, where when you're upgrading all your towers on an adept, it's just going to take forever, because there's a million towers to upgrade. But it's fine. It's really no big deal. You have so much time to do everything that, like, you should be able to upgrade all of your towers, reflectors, and everything within, any time before the boss spawns, basically. And with a leftover DU, I'm going to place 1 reflector straight through the middle like that. Isn't that beautiful? Now, I couldn't tell you what direction, or frankly speaking, I couldn't tell you much of anything about any of those towers. But I know for a fact that there's a lot of reflectors here, and the boss has a very low chance of getting through them. And if he does, I'm going to be very sad. Now, at this point, when it comes to upgrading your towers and whatnot, obviously upgrade the buff beams and the auras over here first. Well, once you're done with this main buff beam. Then, if you want, I would recommend bringing in, like, a summoner with some pets. Keep in mind, this is not like a good build. This is not like, well, it's probably a good build, but the way that I'm doing it is not a good build. This is a tower kill that I'm doing. But because of that, we're going to be using summoners instead of like any actual hero. And since we're using summoners, we're not going to target farm any weapons. We're just going to kind of hope to get the weapons naturally. I think my method for farming the weapons here is probably going to be doing the survival because of the fact that, well, it's also a good armor farm, so it's, you know, 2-in-1. Once you've finished upgrading all of your towers, go ahead and bring in your primary monk, the tower boost guy, who, by the way, what a glow up. He actually has movement speed now. Insane. Also, the tower boost is 4K. And then as a secondary, we're going to be bringing in a summoner with a huntress and a monk guardian. As a third character is going to be another summoner with the exact same stuff. And then as a last character is going to be one last summoner with a pixie and a squire guardian. I don't really know if the pixie's going to do anything because we're not going to get hit, but both the pixie and the squire guardian are like omega contingencies in case something goes horribly, horribly wrong. So what I'm going to do on them is just go here inside the towers and then just sit there for the entirety of the boss. Well, I guess the entire map from now on. There we go. And honestly, at this point, I don't really see any enemy getting through, like, at all. Not even close. So I don't think we really have much to worry about, but I'll come back to you guys in the final wave when we get to deal with the big bad. Hey, a thought just crossed my mind. It's probably a good idea to sell, or I guess not sell, but not bring in that extra summoner that has the fucking squire and pixie, and instead bring in, you know, a warden, because a warden is like actually a useful hero, because the tower boosts DPS. And also she can use the wrath ability. Yeah, I should have brought in my warden. I don't know what I'm thinking. Okay, before the boss spawns, make sure that you have these towers repaired. Although, in this case, it looks like they were being reached by my tower boost, which is really nice. We're going to sit in the middle stack of towers. Again, just make sure that you're being completely covered by these reflections. And then we're going to press V to skip the timer because, I mean, it doesn't really matter. As far as I'm aware, this boss should die, like, really easily and really fast. Can I put my cursor in the middle of the screen? No, I can't. That's unfortunate. By the way, I'm running on the 64-bit version of the game. So in case you're having, like, crash issues, swap to that because I've heard that it greatly improves your stability. But what the boss is going to do is, like, just jump up in the air and then just stay flying for a while. Every once in a while, it'll, like, push all the way over to your towers and then get obliterated, as you can see here. And then it'll, like, run away otherwise. But when it's near your towers, it's going to take a nasty beating. Especially early on when there's not other things for your towers to focus on. But you can see this thing is just a projectile spam boss like crazy. But if he stays near your towers, like, the entire time, you're kind of chilling because he can't really do anything about you. At least not if you have this many reflectors, you know? Wow. He spent a lot of time in the middle there. The last time I attempted this, he spent most of his time, like, really, really far away, like, over behind this pillar. But this time, not so much. And our Wistens are making short work of him. He would actually already be dead if I had my warden out, but whatever. Oh my god, my frame rate, Jesus Christ. Alright, well, that's the boss done. That was incredibly easy. Goblin Wrenches, and then a couple of Soul Dissolvers. By the way, it's Map of the Week on this map, so you get double rewards, so that's why I got so much stuff. But from what I've heard, the Goblin Wrenches, they can be pretty good. Or something. Honestly, I don't really get how these can be that good. I guess they can roll high base damage or something, but I don't really get it, because there's, like, other things that can do that. But I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on the Soul Dissolvers. Something like this is actually like, whoa, that's really good. The ammo and the reload speed bonus are a little bit low, but that is a lot of upgrades and a lot of base damage. And also crazy good stats everywhere else. I mean, this is, like, I guess a bit low on the clip size and ammo. But other than that, like, this is kind of what I really wanted to get out of here, which is pretty cool. But you can see they roll pretty decently with their stats, at least most of the time. You also get accessories here, and the accessories, they're a bit of a hodgepodge, but they're certainly decent enough to be looking at. What the fuck is this thing? Except for this one, I guess. There's also some accessory, like, set bonus that you can get, but I'm not bothering with that. I guess I'll lock one of these Goblin Wrenches because, you know, I want to collect one of every weapon. But other than that, I don't think we're going to be getting any more of these in the future. At least I hope not. Survival on Omenak is going to be done on Nightmare instead of on Ruthless. I'll come back here and do Ruthless at some point in the future, but right now, this is mostly an armor farm and a weapon farm at the same time. By the way, I tested out the weapons that we got, and, like, I can hit a comfortable 25 million DPS, if not significantly more, with like a tower boost, an empowerment shrine, and not much else. So it's a pretty good weapon. Definitely not like, you know, cream of the crop the best, but still very, very good. Now, quick thing on the survival of this. We're doing it on Nightmare because there's just more enemies. That's kind of it. And also on Ruthless, you don't get any kind of weapon rewards for the end of the map. You don't get like the map-specific weapon rewards. So I think there's not really much reason to do it on Ruthless because of that, which is why we're doing it on Nightmare. So the build is going to be something simple, but like to say that it's smart would be an overstatement for sure. I'm not, whoops, I forgot I actually need to go, whoops. I'm not actually sure what I'm doing with the build, to be entirely honest. I'm just doing what feels right. And that's about as much as I can say. Is it actually right? To be determined. But it feels right. Over here, I think pretty much all the enemies are going to go over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heavy stack all the defenses here. I guess we're doing this on survival, so I don't really need to heavy stack the defenses, but I am going to anyways because lazy. But I'm going to heavy stack the defenses on that beam right there. And then I can't tower boost because we're on survival and not pure strategy, so I'll just kind of pray. I'll dump down like, you know, a forest golem, I guess here. We'll be fine. Please don't fall off. Okay, he didn't fall off. And then I'll put the rest of my towers as just a massive stack of warden towers. By the way, I do have an adept, but I don't want to level her. Or I don't want to like actually repurpose her to be not this adept. But whenever this one hits like 93, I'll repurpose this one to be my upgrader adept. And then I'll repurpose this one to be like an actual adept. Because the more that I look around, the more that I notice that adept is actually like a useful class. And I really should start using it as one. But I'm lazy, especially on Nightmare. Adept is actually really, really good on Nightmare. And if you have really high stats, which I think we technically do, it is also a very good class on Ruthless, but I'm lazy. I can't be bothered. Anyways, here's what I'm going to be doing with the build. A very, very basic thing. Shroom Pit, of course. I don't have my tower attacking strip going. Good God. Man, I really got to build that into the game. So it's going to be a cloud tower facing pretty much just straight forward. One facing straight back to the right-ish, and then one facing like straight back over here-ish, I guess. I don't know. Not really much thought going into the cloud towers, I'll be honest. And the rest of it is just going to be west ends. Oh, I have enough DU left over for one cloud tower. Do any enemies are going to come over from this direction? If there's any enemies from that direction, then that's too bad, because I'm putting another cloud tower facing roughly this direction. Let's call it a day. And that's going to be it. I'll probably sell like a cloud tower or a west end in the future to place down, what are they called? To place down a web wall or something, because those are really useful. But for the moment, that'll do. Now we just upgrade everything, and I'll come back to you guys on, well, either when we fail or when we get like pets or something like that. Or if I'm lucky, if we get some like really cool armor, but I kind of doubt it. By the way, I want to show you guys a really neat new thing that was added into the game. So, look at this. I want to make a new character because we don't actually have 4 booster summoners, and I want 4 booster summoners. So let's make Yituk the booster summoner. By the way, ignore this character. That's, I was helping people with maps. So, here's a cool thing that they added. Let's say you want to have a character, you know, or for whatever reason, you don't want your main screen, your main split to be the screen that you see. When you add in an extra character, thanks to B in the Discord, B, very, very gracious individual who has just made an amazing change. You can do this. That's it. I pressed F8 and it's showing me the screen of the character that I'm controlling, not the primary screen. And of course, I could swap back to the primary screen. Now there is a few bugs here and there, but for the most part, pretty sick. Pretty goddamn sick. Well done, B. This is, oh god. This is a really cool feature. Still a few bugs to work out, of course. I mean, it wouldn't be, oh god, I forgot this character had these pets. It wouldn't be, you know, Dungeon Defenders if there weren't bugs. But still, it is incredibly, incredibly cool. This is stuff that I, like, at some point it was going to be added. So I'm not exactly, you know, going crazy over the fact that it's been added. But the fact that it's been added is really nice. You know, I've been waiting a long time for this kind of a thing to be added to the game. All right. Now everything's done upgrading, and you might be wondering, what are you doing on a level 1 summoner? First of all, this one generated with like really cool colors, and I wanted to point that out. And second of all, we need to level a summoner. We don't currently have 4 booster summoners. We have 3 booster summoners and Lenny, and Lenny is not in the best position. So I needed to make one anyways. And this place gives pretty good experience, right? And here's the other thing. It gives me an excuse to show off this. Now, as you know, there's a built-in emulator, and it's really, really cool, right? Emulator, amazing. One of the best things that they've added to the game. But it's been a bit incomplete for a while, because when you pressed F8, it would only show the primary screen, and it wouldn't let you do that on the other screens. But thanks to B in the Discord, you can do it now. Look at this. Whatever characters you add in, you could swap between showing their screens and whatever other screen that you want as like the F8 screen, which is really, really cool. Now, there's still a few bugs to be worked out on it, but for the most part, it's a very complete feature, and the bugs are all pretty minor, so it doesn't matter that much. It's just very awesome that's been added to the game. I knew it would be added eventually, but it's very cool to see that somebody actually went through the effort of putting it in the game. Thank you, B. This is amazing. This is an amazing feature. There's a few other things that are still being worked out, like I think right now there's some talks going on about whether or not you should be able to like auto-fire on multiple screens at once, but then there's a kind of balancing issues. But more likely than not, I'm pretty sure the way it'll end up is you can as the default right now, shoot automatically on one of your screens on the non-main screen, and then probably they'll add a feature so where you can shoot on your main screen as well, so a maximum of 2. Any more than 2 and you get into like AFK map territory, which I think they really don't want to have in the game because balancing and whatnot. But nonetheless, that's stuff that's probably going to happen in the future. But at the moment, thank you, B, for adding this. It's very cool. I'm sure in the future, once B gets some higher privileges and permissions, we'll be able to change things like not having audio coming in from the other characters, which would be really nice because, goddamn, recording is awful sometimes. But nonetheless, I just wanted to show you guys. It's a very cool thing. I'm very happy that it's in the game. And yeah, pretty much just thank you, B. I imagine somebody else also helped B work on it, maybe multiple somebody. So in case they did, then thank you as well to our nameless heroes. But the only person I heard involved with the process was B, so I'm thanking B. B like the animal, or like the insect, not like the letter. Although it does have the letter. Oh my god, that's a beautiful mountain view. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and like explore the map while we wait until the build fails, because it probably will. Oh, battle droids. I got jump scared by that. I forgot that you get those. That's pretty neat. Also, it looks like, well, maybe I could use this, but most of our ultimates on this round were a bust. The difference between these and the other laser robots is they have like double the range, and I think that's it. They also roll better, but that's pretty much it. Oh. Hey, that's pretty good. Let's go. Yeah, we get pets on wave 30. But they it's this fucking thing. I mean, we already have an ultimate plus anyways, but even if we didn't, I wouldn't really want more of them. Not exactly the cream of the crop when it comes to quality loot. Next. Oh, I forgot to clear my inventory. Oh, I forgot to clear my inventory. That's gonna suck. Oh, God. Alright, let's see what the mini-mechs. Ultimate 93s. This one is pretty okay. How's the base damage range? A good bit. I think this one's fine. Alright, well, sadly, didn't get any ultimate pluses or hell. With the exception of this thing, we didn't get any ultimate pluses at all. And this thing's not even good. So, you know. Let's go do Buccaneer Bay. And there's a few reasons for doing this. One, I just need a break from Omenak. Not really that it's boring, but like, I want to do something else for a little bit. And 2, we got to do this anyways. And 3, the big one, I think this place drops a potentially one of the best DPS weapons we can use, and more importantly, easily get for Love Machine. And I want to do Love Machine at some point, not this episode maybe, but maybe next episode, something like that. But I want to do it to try and get what is it called? To try and get, I think it was 1.7. Actually, I want to move these closer to the crystal. Yeah, we need to get to wave 17. That's what it was, to get the Love Magi. That's what it is. So, the build that I'm using here for Buccaneer Bay is nothing particularly amazing. We're only here for, well, okay, rephrase, sorry. It's not that it's nothing particularly amazing, it's just I did not come up with this build myself at all. I will link in the comments who came up with this build, but I saw the build and I was like, wow, this is amazing. I must use this immediately. Because, one, it uses Guardian, which I haven't shown you guys. Pretty neat hero. Scales damage off of tower health, and also mainly, the Empowering Shrine is really cool. And 2, she has a tower that, this guy right here, the Owl Nest, it shoots through walls, and you can just stack them infinitely. At the moment, I think this is the only tower in the game that you can stack infinitely on top of itself. But I'm sure there will be more of them in the future, because, I mean, stacking is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. But, yeah. Oh yeah, let me mention the weapon that we're trying to get here. It's a Huntress weapon. This place drops 2 of them, a Huntress weapon and a Squire weapon. We're gonna get both, but I will be farming for the Huntress weapon. And if it is actually, like, reasonably usable, then I think Love Machine should be pretty done and sorted pretty easily. Oh yeah, one last thing I forgot to do. We need to place down a very quick Huntress trap. Now, the build isn't entirely complete just yet. It is mostly complete, but we're not quite there. We have a little bit more to do. And oh my god, I hate placing traps. We need to place a few minions here and there. But once we're done with that, we should be done with the entire build. For the moment, though, I'm actually going to do something which isn't necessary, but I don't trust my stats, so I'm going to do, which is I'm going to go on this character, and you know. Oh wow, I did not get much mana at all. This thing was supposed to be maxed out in its buff image. I guess I could just dump mana on her in the middle of the wave now that I think about it. Yeah, that's going to be the move. But in the meantime, oh my god, I hate the noise of EV beams. Oh, it's so loud, it's ear-piercing. I am going to place down a couple of minions. Now, the person who actually made this build, what they used is a bunch of orc minions. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to place down 2 ogres and then 3 mages at every spot because I don't mind spending a little bit of extra time per map or per attempt if it means that I am a lot more secure and or stable in my runs. Now, this area over here on the right, I don't think should have like any real problems, but I know the area on the left, more likely than not, these ogres will go down. They just don't really have the health. Or more accurately, I think they just don't have a weakened aura there, so they'll just die. I guess I could solve that problem by placing down an extra strength drain aura over there. In fact, I might do that. Sell one of my Wisp Ends for that. It's not the worst idea. I don't know. Or not Wisp Ends, sorry, the Shroom Pits. Not Shroom Pits. God, I'm so Warden pilled. The things that I forgot the name of, I will place down over there. Unfortunately, these guys are going to take damage because I don't have my character set up properly and my tower boost just isn't large enough, so I will give it a couple of upgrades over there. But otherwise, what I'm going to do is bring in a summoner with 2 characters. 2 characters? No. 2 pets. It's going to be 2 Huntress Guardians. God damn it, I unclicked the wrong thing. Mainly because I was having problems when I wasn't doing this, so I must do what is necessary. I don't know that both these Huntress Guardians are being useful. To be honest, I doubt that they both are. But they're there for moral support, if nothing else. You know something I've been wondering about? Do you think it's worthwhile to have a, like, builder set up with a Guardian and then just keep them in the middle of the wave? Because, like, the Guardian is going to help out drastically with the tower DPS, right? And at the same time, those towers will get even more DPS from having the builder alive. It's like 33%. Is maybe, like, Ultimate Guardians quad 600 if that's possible? Is that the move for the future? We're going to bring in our Guardian because I want to get a Squire weapon reward. And also, I mean, it's just, why not, right? Guardian's pretty good. And then the rest of them is going to be just Huntresses because, like, it's the only pet reward I want. Or not pet, sorry, weapon. Man, it's a lot of enemies on that back crystal. That is a lot of guys over there. I can't even see the crystal at this point. Jesus. But there we go. It was not too hard. What? Okay, that was confusing. I don't know why it said all players in core healed. But, yeah, wasn't too bad. It was not too bad at all. Also, we got some achievements, which is nice. Got an Ultimate Roger's Revenge. I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, let's see. 420 upgrades. 268 upgrades. Oh my god. Come on, man. That is awful. And this one's also pretty bad, but at least it's not, you know, god-awful. I guess I'll be keeping this one. It looks like the base damage can vary a little bit, but not too much. Honestly, just because why not? Let's go ahead and just knock Dread Dungeon out of the way. Now let's do something a little bit more complicated with this build. Alright, good enough. Let us continue. It's funny. The wave timers that we're getting, around 30 seconds, I've tested out a lot of maps on Ruthless Hardcore, and the absolute minimum time you will get for pretty much any wave on any map is about 30 seconds, and that's if you're like insta-killing every single enemy the moment that they spawn, or at least the moment that they're vulnerable. So the fact that we're able to get around the same time per wave with this is very interesting. Certainly really cool, that's for sure. Alright, well that was really, really easy. Who would have thought? And we get a whole bunch of random bullshit. Oh, and achievements. Nightmare Soothing Dungeoneer. What the hell does that mean? Chain bracelets. I think these are relatively low tier accessories, so they're not going to roll particularly great, but I guess something like this could be useful on one of our characters, in theory. Honestly, let's go ahead and knock out Arcane Library as well. This place, I'm pretty sure there's like zero reason to do this map on Ruthless beyond the faster wave times, because you don't get double rewards, and the quality on the accessories is like already maxed out when you're doing this originally, and also they can't drop above Transcendent, so there's not really much reason to do this on, you know, what we're doing it on. But why not? You know, I say why not? I want to get it done. Quest for completion. This is completion. We are getting things done. Also, I feel like the number one problem I was having with this map way back when is that the enemies were around walls, and like you can't shoot them because they're around walls. But suddenly, with a new hero who has been added to the game, name of Guardian, their towers shoot around walls. Okay, dump on Elizabeth. Dump on Elizabeth. That sounds gross. Jump on Elizabeth. Monk point 5. And you already know the build. It's just going to be a bunch of Wist Ends. Or Owl Nests. One of the cool things about this map is I don't think you really care about if your ensnare auras are overlapping with enemy spawn points. Because from what I've seen, at least testing this like not too long ago on Nightmare, like you can just hit enemies in their spawns, which is very abnormal and maybe a bug, but very much appreciated nonetheless. You know, honestly, it's a real shame that this map doesn't give double rewards on Ruthless, because if it did, it would be like one of the best accessory farms in the game, and I think it would be fairly balanced out by the fact that, one, the accessories always drop as Transcendent, which makes them a good tier below, you know, anything else you can get, and two, it only drops 2 slots of accessories. It doesn't drop anything for your arms. Alright. We are done. Very, very cool. Well, that's cool. Swap my primary screen over to my main character. Now then. Ooh. Well. Doesn't have HP, but this is an okay... This guy's okay. Huzzah, you are okay. Alright, let's see the accessories. Garbage. And is that it? Okay, yeah, no, that's it. Just a whole lot of garbage. Lovers, what? Fire Invasion. Okay, so I'm gonna be real. I'm doing this app on Nightmare. I'll do it later on Ruthless, but the rundown is you need to do Wave 7, or do you need to get to Wave 7? I don't know. Something about Wave 7, and then technically you have done this map. But the problem is, I just can't do it on Wave 7 on Ruthless, because the ogres end up having, I'm not even kidding, like, what was the number? 400 million HP, like, on Wave 5? So, like, yeah, no, Wave 7 is a little bit of a ways off. I'm sure we'll get there. It's just going to take a little bit before we are there. So, in the meantime, because we only need to do this map on Nightmare to unlock Boss Rush, or True Boss Rush, I should say, I'm just going to do it on Nightmare. But the build is going to be the exact same thing that I did for the campaign of Buccaneer Bay, with one slight difference. Namely, I'm going to have to move the gas trap because, unfortunately, there's just too many Djinns. At least on Ruthless there were. I haven't tested this on Nightmare, but on Ruthless there's just too many Djinns. So it's not really like a choice. I just have to move the gas trap, otherwise my auras will go down. Oh, by the way, I did Lover's Paradise, and I got myself a Heart Spear that is like this, which is a really nice secondary for our Jester. By the way, speaking of our Jester, we're going to be using this as our main character. Soul Dissolver, pretty decent one we got from Omenak. Not really using it as DPS, but mainly we need to make sure that this guy has a negative range, so I'm going to put the pet in there. And then I'm dumping this gas trap directly on top of the auras. And I'm 99% sure that guarantees that area is perfectly fine until death do us part. And death will do us part. Alright, secondary character, as always, is going to be our Tower Boost Monk, because, I mean, come on. Tower Boost Monk, of course, is going to be our secondary character. Tertiary character is going to be Elizabeth, our Guardian, because 33% tower DPS boost is pretty damn nice. And our last character will be the Job Application, because Huntress and Monk Guardian. Although I feel like I should swap out the Monk Guardian for another Huntress, but whatever. Now all we gotta do is upgrade the buff beam to max, probably give a couple upgrades to this aura stack over here, and then hope, prayer, thought in a dream, all that business. Oh, that's because my tower boost went down. Hey, speaking of tower boost went down, we are done. All right, let me out of here. Release me right now. Get me out. Enough tower boosting. I'll do this. Wow. Dude, I'm so skilled. Can we end the map? Hello? You. Hit me. Thank you. Jesus. Pirate mana token. Interesting. Well, we have now technically completed this. So that's cool. Surprisingly good on the accessories. Honestly, not bad. I expected the accessories to be awful, but they were not that bad. And a good amount of mana tokens too. Don't get me wrong, is it better than, I mean, I don't know, anything else? No, but it's not that bad. Coastal Bazaar time. Fun fact, this map on Nightmare is only like 4% off of Infested when it comes to its loot quality. So it's actually, well, at a time it was a really good armor farm, but no longer. Although, Deeper Well has kind of taken that spot for it. Anyways, the build is going to be fairly simple. Just a strength drain and a snare at every crystal. Because, I mean, come on. Creativity is dead nowadays. Now, as much as I don't want to admit it, we can't actually do a build of just dumping down owl nests everywhere. Because they just don't really have enough damage. So here's what we're going to do. Between both of these crystals, we're going to place down a 5D buff beam. A little something like that. Make sure that it's boosting all the towers. Oh, goddammit. And then we're also going to place down a 1DU reflector in front. A 1DU reflector on the side. And then also, we're just making a box. All right, we're making a box of reflectors. That's it. All the way back here, as pretty much as far back as we can get it, a tower buff beam, and then 2 reflectors. Something like that should do just about fine. So what I'm thinking right now is because wave 1 is easy and a joke, we're going to dump down a mushroom pit over here, because, I mean, why not, right? And then what I think we can do is place down 1 cloud tower facing a little bit forward to the left, 1 facing a little bit forward to the right, and then I think a single wisp den should be fine for that area. So let's double it. 2 west ends. And then over here, we'll finish the building, you know, a little bit later. But 1 shroom pit, of course. And then I don't really know where the enemies come in from all that well. So I think straight forward, straight to the down left, straight to the down right. And then the rest of that will be west ends. Oh wow, we can actually place on all the towers. I guess owl nests are really expensive and I'm just really used to that. Oh well. Primary character is going to be Ellie, and our secondary will be Monk 0.5 with his tower boosts. Now, I think at this point, because I want to get all 4 weapon rewards from this map, even though it is actually the exact same as City in the Cliffs, I'm just going to go ahead and bring in all my extra characters for the final wave. 2 of them we already have, because, I mean, we already have 2 of them. So I'm going to go ahead and put this character over here so she can boost all these towers. We want to get a Huntress brought in here, and bring in 1 final character in the form of a melee. So I guess Elizabeth, because she has a lot of HP. Why not, really? And now, from this point onwards, we just Control G, tower boost, wait for the map to be done. What? Ow. What? How the hell did they die? Oh, it was a Harbinger. I forgot about those guys. What do I do to solve that problem, then? Because I'm going to have that problem for a while. But I think I have to place down a couple of minions, unfortunately. This is a situation where owl nests would be really nice. And I probably should start mixing them into the build, but I don't really want to. Oh, come on. Oh, I see. Wow, look at that. Isn't that interesting? So it appears as though I have chosen my characters to stand directly on top of where the skycopters fall down. And ogres. That's not my brightest move. Does make getting mana a lot easier, though. Gotta admit. My god. That is, like, awful. That is such... That placement is so awful. I'm sure all of you who've already, like, farmed this map, you guys were watching me do that, and you're like, okay, this guy's a dumbass. Although I guess that's not really new information, is it? Alright, not too bad. Now, if I remember correctly, the rewards, yeah, the rewards for this map are the exact same as they are on, what is it called? On... God, my brain. City in the Cliffs, except -2 variety of weapons. Something like that. So yeah, you get the flying carpet beater, which interesting, and then you also get the sorcerer's lamp, Embermount Volcano, which I think right now is bugged because it has like 2 intro cutscenes or something going on at the same time. But whatever. This map, well, at least on 64-bit, this map is kind of annoying. The boss is kind of annoying, but I noticed a neat little feature about the boss that I think we can abuse to just whoop its ass, basically. The build is fairly simple. I am going to mix a couple of towers more than I normally would because I just noticed that owl nests are really powerful, but they just can't deal with the boss. We're going to dump down a very basic ensnare pretty far back to the south over here, and then a very basic ensnare and strength drain over here as well. Then on our series EV, what we're going to do is dump down, if I can, a 5DU... okay, so it's just 6DU. Why not? 6DU buff beam with a reflector over here, like that, because... oh, screw it. Let's make a reflector like this. I just hope that it's enough. And then, nah, it'll be fine. And now at this point, we're going to just dump down just a jillion towers on this character. I don't remember the exact setup that I want to have, but I remember vaguely what I need. So it's going to be a shroom pit, a cloud tower facing to the right, to the left, and then just a ton of whist ends, like as many as we can. And then later on, I'll sell a couple of them to place down the rest of our towers. I want to place down a holy bulwark, I think that's what it's called, a owl nest, and probably a forest golem. Although, I don't know if I need the forest golem, to be honest. I don't know that I need that. But I'll place it anyways. Alright, let's go ahead and dump down somewhere towards this area here. Forest golem. A nature pylon. That forest golem is not enough range. I'm sure it'll be fine. And then it looks like we actually have just enough DU with however many towers that I placed down. And then we have to sell one, unfortunately, one of our whist ends. And I think... oh, that's weird. We can't place them directly on top. Wow, that's weird. I thought we could place them directly on top, but we can't. That's very, very strange. Oh well. Dump down an owl nest here, and then a holy bulwark right here. This is going to look weird. Trust me. It's going to be even weirder when we're doing the boss. And also, I need to get a little bit more DU, so I do, in fact, have to sell my, whatchamacallit. I do, in fact, have to place my Series EV buff beam a little bit more efficiently than I have. Let's go ahead and dump a forest golem right there. And from then on, we're just going to pray for the best. You know, right now, I'm like sitting in my room. It's dark at night. I don't have my light on because I'm lazy. And every time I see a whist end shot that like goes over my screen, it just brightens my room for a second. This has got to be a very interesting view from the outside of my house. Anyways, let me explain the build. So the Holy Bulwark, it heals towers nearby whenever it gets damaged, I think. It also deals a bit of AoE damage on its own. It also is able to heal your auras, which is a very rare thing for towers. The resistance pylon obviously makes your towers more tanky. The forest golem also heals your towers, and I think, I'm not sure, but I think it stacks with the whatchamacallit, that thing. So here's the basic idea. When it comes to the boss wave, when we're doing the countdown for the boss spawn, we're just going to kill all of our guys, because when there's no enemies alive for the boss to target, and by enemies I mean players, it just kind of freaks out and just starts summoning these wyverns, which, like, they're kind of annoying, but they're really no big deal. And there's one main massive benefit to doing that, which is you can target farm 4 of the same weapon at the same time, and on this map specifically, you only want one of the weapons, which is the weapon for your adept. Although obviously, because I am a YouTuber, I am going to try and get all the weapons, at least once, because I want to have all the weapons in the game. But after that, whenever we're grinding this map again, we're going to just do it on an adept, 4 adepts if I can, and just call it a day, because, I mean, why not, right? Anyways, though, if I remember correctly, the best way to do this map is actually to have out 4 characters at once, as weird as it sounds. Something about, like, enemy spawn patterns or something, or whatever it is. But honestly, I don't mind. We can just bring in like a bunch of summoners and then just our main tower booster dude and just call it a day. Oh yeah, the Harbingers. Something about the way that the Harbingers spawn with 4 players is, I think, the main thing. Because they just go in like this conga line formation and then they're just dead. Because, you know. Now, during the countdown, let's prepare for this boss fight. Whoops. That actually didn't mean to do that. There we go. That's what I meant to do. Now, you might be wondering, what the hell are you doing? And the answer is, I'm killing all of my characters, because when all your characters are dead, the boss is just kind of dumb. Like, he just kind of sits there and watches nothing. He just doesn't shoot your towers at all. He spawns like these wyvern dudes, which are kind of annoying, but as long as you can keep your main stack of towers alive over here, you don't really have that much to worry about. Like, it's no big deal. And as far as I'm aware, we should be fine. The towers will take their time to kill the boss, so that's going to be kind of annoying. But they'll kill the boss. That's, you know, that's the big goal. They'll do that. So in the meantime, all we got to do is just wait. And the cool part about this one is what I can do is I can actually just like sit up here and then go use the bathroom or do anything else and then come back and see if we're done. And if I fail, I'll get to see exactly why I failed. Although, admittedly, I think it would have been a good idea to just keep the characters alive at least for a little bit and, you know, focus on damaging the boss down with the tower boosts and the Huntress Guardians and whatever. But whatever, I'm sure this will be fine. Oh my god, it's still going? Jesus, we're gonna be here forever. Where's my headset? I mean, nothing is dying, because, like, it can't. But we're certainly... I'm realizing why you don't want to do this build, is what I'm trying to say. There is a reason you don't want to do the build, and it's making itself very, very apparent. Because it takes fucking ever. Oh my god, are we actually taking damage? Uh-oh. Shroom Don't go down, Shroom Okay. We got through it. Stupid ass build. How long did that take? Oh, I got a bunch of achievements. Very, very cool. Oh, I should have shown the other screen, shouldn't I? 524 seconds. It took 9 minutes. Oh, that's funny. Alright, well, that was an interesting experiment in futility. That is a very good Monk Guardian. Okay, so the Ember set. We got a mythical one. That's unfortunate. Basically, it just scales really, really well with the EV beam. That's pretty much it. Ember Crescent, I think the only special thing about the Ember Crescent is it gives you a little bit more speed and it rolls really well sometimes, but like not that well, really. Sort of Embers shoots out a projectile, and I think, yeah, it also gives you movement speed. And the Ember Flame, this was awful. I'm pretty sure the next challenge is like way worse too, so very excited to take that on. Flames of Rebirth. Ugh. Nasty. Okay, I've just done a bunch of moving stuff around, and I need to show you guys the setup for Flames of Rebirth is gonna be awful. I gave our Huntress basically the entire armor and accessory set from our main DPS monk because, yep, gave her a forest rifle, not anything crazy, but still pretty good. We're going to be using, other than her, our Monk Point 5, who has a lot more ability 1 and ability 2 now, just in general. Also capped out his damage reductions on fire and generic. And that's pretty much it. This map sucks big balls. It is actually, like, so ass. And I don't know if it's because I'm on... what's it been called? I don't know if it's because I'm on 64-bit or not, but I had a bug where the boss just, like, spawned during the build phase and was still damaging my towers and stuff, which was awful. Like, I managed to get through it, right? Don't get me wrong, I got through it. But it was awful, you know? I'm personally not a massive fan of what just happened. So, yeah, we'll see, we'll see. It'll be rough, but we'll get through it, I'm sure. Over here, the very basic Ensnare Aura and Strength Drain, of course. We're using pretty much the exact same build that we did for the campaign with a few minor alterations. One of which is a Healing Aura over here. I don't really think it does that much, I'm going to be honest, but like, maybe, you know, maybe it finds some usefulness at some point. On the Series EV, we have a very basic 60U buff beam going all the way across. Something like that should do just about fine with a 1DU reflector over here. Then we're going to go on to the Elizabeth, yes. And we're going to dump down a Owl Nest right here, along with a Bulwark, also right there. And, whatchamacallit, this guy right here, Empowering Shrine. Yep, this guy just boosts our damage, so it's pretty nice to have. Also, I don't think he can get boosted by the buff beam, but I'm keeping him there just in case he can't. Now, the first wave is actually, like, not that bad at all, because there's not much to deal with. But every wave after, pretty bad. Pretty damn bad. Forest Golem, Nature Pylon, very basic stuff. Not really much to talk about there. We're saving ourselves a tiny bit of mana left over for 2 Cloud Towers, a West End, and I think that's pretty much it, honestly. We don't have that much mana left. It's very awful. This map sucks. I don't know how the hell you would do this, like, solo without tower boosting, or without, what's it called, tower stacking, but I guess they didn't really have that in mind when they were making it. So, let's go ahead and bring in Monk Point 5, give him the mana. There we are. It's funny, by the way, this guy has speed now, like, capped out speed, and despite that, he is still slow as dirt. Alright, let's go ahead, put him there, have him start shooting. And what we're going to do is, once we damage an enemy of any kind, we're going to tower boost and hero boost on this guy. And then the Phoenix pretty much always spawns from over here. So after it spawns, we're just going to whoop its ass. Now, because the Phoenix is just always super far away, one of the best ways to deal with it is with this setup. But I gotta be real, it's rough. At times, this map gets really rough. Can I please get the mana? What is the mana doing? Why is it taking that funky-ass path? Go... What are we doing here, mana? Huh? Oh, Phoenix is back up. I'm gonna drop more mana. As long as it doesn't dive bomb... Is it dive bombing? No, it's not. As long as it doesn't dive bomb, it shouldn't be that bad. Okay, that was close. We got through all the enemies right before it destroyed all my shit, which would have been really bad. Now let's go ahead, give you all the mana, leave on this guy because I am not thinking straight. What's going on with the mana here? I have to imagine it's like a 64-bit thing. I don't really get why it would be happening otherwise. Anyways, let's go ahead and sell our West Ends and Cloud Towers and replace all of them because, yep. Shrimp it, and then just as many West Ends as we can manage. There we go. Now, at this point, your #1 tower to upgrade is going to be your buff beam, because duh, right? And #2, this one's going to kind of surprise a lot of you, is your nature pylon, because as long as the boss can do a dive bomb and one-shot your towers, there's a chance that you will just fail. As long as you max out your nature pylon, I'm pretty sure, as long as you max it out, you should be fine. The boss can dive bomb, and it'll suck, but you won't die. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure, I'll admit that right now, but I'm fairly sure on that. As secondary characters, we're going to be bringing in Job Application with a Huntress and a Monk Guardian, just dumping him down on the main crystal, or on the main stack of towers, somewhere over here is fine. And then the secondary character is going to be whichever one of these has more damage reduction and HP. Okay, it's going to be and very quickly on I'm actually going to go ahead and swap out one of his pets, probably this one, for a Phoenix. No, a Pixie, because survivability. That's pretty much it. God, I am not excited for this. I did not. This is bad. All right, this map just sucks. Oh, what the hell? My mouse just left my screen for a second. This map sucks. They need to rework it or do something about it because doing it solo sucks mongo dongo crazy nuts. Maybe I just don't know the meta, and if that's the case, then just like tell me in the comments, but I have never had less fun than when I had to do this map, or than when I'm doing this map. So, I don't know. Just one player's experience, not enjoyable. But maybe I'm missing something, who knows. Doesn't feel like I am, just feels like it's awful and not well thought out, but, you know, that could just be me. Wouldn't be the first time, by the way, that something is awful and not well thought out, but besides the point. Alright, there we go. And let's get rid of the Phoenix as soon as we can. Of course, the shots that we shoot don't go through walls, so we can't actually do that. The moment that the Phoenix goes down, from every wave after the first, you want to go ahead and stop, you want to go ahead and stop hero boosting. Next time it spawns in, you won't have your hero boost going, unfortunately. Oh my god, that was awful. Why do my towers get damaged so badly? You won't have your hero boost going just yet. It's still going to be on cooldown, which is what I mean when I say that they should probably fix some parts of this, but it'll just about be on cooldown, and you can go again. It's, again, it's just a bit janky, it's a bit rough, but you can get through it. It is manageable. It is awful, but manageable. By the way, this spot sucks big balls. Leave me alone. That's annoying. That's even more annoying. When the boss does that, it's really annoying. And at this point, I'm not going to let my hero boost go down. I'm just going to pray for the best. And next wave, we will have enough whatever left over that we can go ahead and upgrade our pylon to max, and once our pylon's maxed out, we should be relatively chill. We'll see. Where's the boots? There it is. Are you dive bombing? Because that would be awful. Nope, you are doing something marvelous. These fireballs suck a mongo dong. They whoop ass. Alright, that's just all there is to say about it. They whoop Omega ass, and unfortunately it is your ass that they are whooping. And the ogres, for some godforsaken reason, they just spawn Omega slow at the end here, and it sucks. It's awful. So many things about this are terrible. You know, I was complaining about Ethereum Holiday Extravaganza, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure when we get to it, that map will also be fairly awful, but it's not nearly as bad as this one. I highly doubt it, at the very least. Also, I can't believe the character that has the whatchamacallit died there. The character that has the fairy died. I'm very surprised by that. The only silver lining, and I do mean that, by the way, the only silver lining for this map is the fact that at least you get a lot of mana left over after the map is finished the very first time. That is like, I'm not going to say it's everything. It's certainly helpful. It's certainly very helpful. The next order of priority for upgrading my towers is probably going to be this empowering shrine, because more player DPS means Phoenix dies faster, means less chance for chicanery, bullshittery, and therefore I can be at least 1% happier in my life. Oh, speaking of happier in my life, let me show you guys something real neat. Now, I want to place down a couple of minions here, because healing is pretty awesome, and they might distract the boss a little bit. Here's a cool thing. You can't place them on here. Oh, wait. Wrong character. You can't place ogres on here, otherwise they fall through. So you have to place them up here, which is awful. But that might distract some of the wyverns or something like that. No idea if it will. But either way, I'm going to place down 2 summoner minions, mage minions down there, and pray for the best. There's no other spots where I can place them down, because, like I said earlier, if you do this, they just fall asleep. Yeah, I had no idea why he just does that. I guess I could place them from there and move them from that point, but whatever. If you're really fast about it, I guess you can get the, whatchamacallit? You can get the hero boost back up just about when the boss spawns back in, which is a lifesaver, but it's rough still. It's still pretty rough, no matter what. I really don't like how, like, on point I have to be with the fucking canceling my hero boost. I'm telling you, just put 5 more seconds between the boss respawning and all of my problems, all of our problems, this will be our problems if you want to do this map ever, they will be solved. Half the boss's HP is gone. Let's get the other half down as well. By the way, you notice that? The owl, owl towers are just kind of dumb, and also the same thing with the the cloud towers. After they've hit their first enemy, they'll just fucking go after the boss that can't take damage from them. No idea why that's a thing, but it very much is. Did my tower boost just go down? It probably did. It should be fine. At this point, there's only a couple of ogres left, but still kind of sucks. Yeah, it did go down. Alright, where's the boss? Oh. I think our nature pylon isn't in range of those towers, and that's why that happened. I'm not entirely sure, though. Hey, look at that. Even more awful things. Oh, you know what I could do? I might regret this later, but I bet I could just dump down, like, over here, that guy, with that guy, and then a spider as well. And that might deal with the boss. Oh, I gotta hurry up, though. I gotta hurry up. I forgot. Build time, you gotta be on point. You gotta be very on point with the build time, otherwise you'll regret it. I have regretted it in the past, and I was so mad because I was on wave 14, which is, like, almost done with this. I was wondering how much content can I fit into this episode? You know, how much will I fit in the episode? The answer is this. This is going to be the last thing you guys see. Why do I have DU? Oh, 5 DU. Right. I saved on the buff beam. What was I saying? Yeah. I was wondering, like, how much stuff am I going to fit in this one thing? And the answer is, like, this is the last thing we're doing for the episode. I'm not doing a fucking single other thing. This is it. This is the last thing. Everything else, it can happen later, but I'm not doing any more than this. Also, the pixie just doesn't seem to be doing anything. I don't know if that's just because I'm legendarily instantly dying, or what, but I am not a fan of it. Maybe swap it out for fucking... I don't even know, man. Swap it out for something. Oh, God. That's gonna be nuts to butts awful. Yeah, I gotta move these guys. Well, actually, no, they seem to be handling it just fine. Oh. I'm gonna keep the hero boost going because I forgot to cancel it earlier. I guess I can just alternate, now that I think about it, yeah. I can alternate the hero boosts and whatnot. Oh my god, you got fucking destroyed. That was awesome. I forgot, we actually deal a lot of DPS. Man, the Force Rifle is like whoop-ass Machine 2000. Why does this guy keep dying? What's his whole spiel? Spiel? Does he just have like way less health than the other guy? Where's job market? No, he has the same... Oh. Damn, okay. For the sake of the fact that this is the character that's keeping us alive the most, I will go through the effort of making sure that he can stay alive himself. We only have to upgrade our fire and generic resistance, I'm pretty sure, because nothing else really matters. Alright, he's capped out. Now, you are part of the club of people who don't instantly fucking die when the boss appears. Oh my god, we finished. Let's go! Fuck this map! This map is a fucking piece of shit. Okay, I think for Ruthless you get like some extra accessories or something along those lines. But it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. It's so much brain power for so little reward. Okay, Sword of Embers. Cool, we got an ultimate +1. Very, very cool. I don't think these are good DPS weapons. I don't think they're good for like anything at all, to be honest. I guess they can roll decently with tower stats, but whatever. We got them now. Oh yeah, all the armor sets is fun. Let's look at the accessories, because that's, you know, maybe we got something on that end, right? Nope. In fact, it looks like we got very little of anything on that end. Well, actually, this might be useful for a character. This is probably... Well, no, this is actually fairly good. That sucks big balls. And this probably sucks big balls. Oh my god, we got another page of garbage. Could be useful. Unironically, probably is very useful for the Guardian, because she doesn't care about tower damage that much. Okay. Well, after all of that, I'm really praying I don't sell something that I was supposed to keep, by the way. We kept this. I got surprisingly 4 of the accessories. Wow. And 1 sword. Wow. Look at that. We're so skilled at the game. My goodness. How long was that? 27 minutes. Good fucking god. What a nightmare. What a fucking nightmare. Okay, I'm very, very tired. After that, that drained the ever-living hell out of me. Next episode, hopefully, we can do the rest of the maps and unlock the true boss rush thing. The only thing that I'm worried about is probably Temple of Polybius, but on Nightmare it's not that hard, so I'm not super concerned. But anyways, that's it for this episode. It was, god, what a fucking, they need to fix this shit. Flames of Rebirth is awful. But I hope you guys have enjoyed my pain and suffering. I'm gonna edit this video while armor farming on Omenak, and I will see you guys in the next one. Oh, also, I need your guys' input on whether or not I should actually use an Ultimate Plus that's like this good, because I think this is a little bit out of reach for most people playing the game. And also, I wanted to play another clip right here. I got this thing. Should I use it? It's cool because I got it, you know, it's clipped and whatnot, but like I don't know if I should use it because it's a double stat cap weapon, which is kind of crazy. Like, at what point should I not use gear because it's too rare? You know, that's what I'm saying. I'm really not sure, but I'd like your guys' feedback in the comments. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.